Hello and welcome back to another vlog. I'm really excited about this vlog because our next trip is fast approaching and I have really enjoyed doing all of the outfit planning for this one. I've been making stuff, I have been shopping small, I've had stuff made for me. So I wanted to share with you all of the outfits, and it is for 2 trips in one that we're doing. So the first portion of our trip is going to be Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure and Epic Universe, which we are so excited about. And then the next part of the trip is going to be our longest cruise yet, and we're going to be sailing on the Disney Treasure for 7 nights. We're going to the Western Caribbean, and yeah, I just can't wait. So let's jump in. Starting with the Disney Cruise Line outfits and embarkation day. Now, every Disney cruise has an atrium or a grand lobby statue that depicts the theming on board the ship. And on the Treasure, it is based around Aladdin. So I knew I had to go for an Aladdin bound of some description. I already had these ears, so I wanted to do something that kind of tied it all together. But I really struggled to find the colours that matched Princess Jasmine, and I looked for a while. So what I did in the end was I picked up this skirt. It was actually in white, and then I bought a dye and I've dyed it myself to pick up that gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Now the only thing I would say about this is it's kind of ruined the integrity of the skirt, I think, because it just doesn't iron. It's not very smooth, but I think I will deal with it for the purpose of the outfit. I then picked up this Loungefly and I absolutely love the colours. I thought it matched perfectly, and I love like a sequin Loungefly. But what was even better about this one is the aqua sort of accents around the actual bag, which perfectly matches this t-shirt from Truly Magical Gifts. So everything is just matchy-matchy. I was definitely going for like a Jasmine type bound, and I love it. I can't wait to get on board. I wanted something casual for our day at sea, and if you've watched previous vlogs you will have seen that I picked this ear headband up. It's a make your own headband from Ears Ever After, I think, at Disney Springs, and I picked up the Chip and Dale head pieces, and I thought that is definitely one to put like a bound around. So got the ears. This is another t-shirt from Truly Magical Gifts which says Double Trouble. And then I was very kindly gifted this bag from Get Ready Comics, and it arrived and I'm actually like blown away by the details on this, because when I saw the pictures I thought, wow, that's stunning and that will obviously be perfect for the bound. But actually to see it in person, it is actually incredible. So it's quilted, which I've never really seen before in a Loungefly, and I absolutely love that. I love the colour scheme on it. I love the sort of outline of the details, but the little acorns on the front and that satchel style. Now the satchel style is still on poppers, so you don't have to faff with like a buckle, but it's actually just perfect. I love it so much. So a massive thank you to Get Ready Comics. I will pop their details in the link below so you can go and have a look for all of your Loungeflies for your next trip. This next outfit has been an absolute labour of love. So again, if you've watched the vlogs, you'll have seen this skirt before because my mum made it for me, and it is the most gorgeous anchor print with the little Mickey head, which I now have in a new tattoo. And because then I realised that my mum could make me these skirts, I put the requests in thick and fast, and I had this big long wish list of all the things that I wanted to do. Clearly she was like, great, what have I just started? So she said, why don't I come and teach you how to sew? Which she did. We spent a full weekend literally going through like everything from like making skirts, how to use a machine, all the rest of it. And then since then I have been practicing. So I already had the skirt, I already had this t-shirt, and I thought, let's try and tie it all in together. So with the leftover fabric I made these ruffle sleeves and attached them. Now this was an absolute pain because I think it took me about 3 or 4 attempts to get it to where I was happy with, but I absolutely love it. And then again with the leftover fabric I thought, why don't I try making my own ears? And I did. So I've used the gold bow because it's going to be our first sailing as gold castaway members, so I wanted to tie it all in together. And I can't believe how they've actually turned out. Like, I am not like a crafty person, so I have surprised myself with what I've been able to do. But I think because I've had like an image in my mind of what I wanted to make and how I wanted it to come together, I think that definitely helped. Pete has definitely helped because he's like definitely the more like practical, hands-on person and helped me kind of bring it to life. But I absolutely love it. And then with my favourite cruise line, Loungefly, I know it does look a bit like Disney Cruise Line threw up on me, but I'm okay with that. The next outfit is another nod to the Disney Treasure ship theming, and this is with Captain Hook and Peter Pan on the ship's stern. And Good to Be Here kindly reached out to me to ask to see if they could make me a pair of ears, which of course I had a look at what their shop sells and they are so cute. So I have these perfect custom Disney Treasure ears, but the best bit is they light up. Look at those! So to go with these gorgeous ears, I already had this Neverland t-shirt, which I'm pretty sure was an Asda George find last year. And then I had my Mr. Sparkle shorts, which I've had forever. And these are a bit of my nemesis because my weight fluctuates a lot and these are quite a tight fit. But I've been quite disciplined on the lead up to this trip and I'm happy to say there's room. So for the Loungefly, I think Pete would actually kill me if I suggested bringing another Loungefly on this trip. And although I do have the gorgeous Mickey Memories Peter Pan bag, yeah, I'm afraid it's going to be staying behind. But I think this one works perfectly because we've got the sparkle, we've got the navy, ties it all in together, perfect. On board the Disney Treasure is going to be, and I already know it, one of my favourite dining experiences ever with Plaza de Coco. Now, Coco is one of my all-time favourite Disney movies, absolutely love it. And I cannot wait to dine in there and to experience the little show that goes with dinner. So of course I had to have a couple of Coco outfits. So this is the first one. Again, another skirt that was made by my mother and I absolutely love it. Oscar has matching in these as well. So we're going to be twinning. And then I remembered that I had this t-shirt that Pete made for me. He'd spotted a design online and then he redrew it, but with some extra details such as like the actual guitars from Coco, which ties in perfectly with the Loungefly, which was a purchase from Get Ready Comics. And it was probably one of my first Loungefly purchases, I think. Pete actually got it for me. I think, was it a wedding anniversary present or birthday, something? But it's gorgeous and it has got the little guitar charm on the actual zip itself. And I think these might actually be the matching ears to this. I'm not 100% sure, but I just know that it's got the detail of the flowers and the detail of the flowers in the ears. So it all came together with things I pretty much already owned. So the second Coco outfit is very, very Coco. Absolutely love this fabric. It's another one that my mum made. And then I saw the matching t-shirt from Truly Magical Gifts again. And then with the ears, this was a bit of an accident actually. So this fabric that I had was just fabric that I've had like sitting in a drawer for a very long time. So when I started to think, oh, could I try and make my own ears? I used that fabric because it was just scrap in my mind. But they actually came out really well, and then I actually thought that they tied in really well for this outfit. So what was supposed to be just a practice pair actually will probably be the pair that I wear with the outfit. The next outfit for the treasure I'm not 100% convinced by. So I made this skirt myself and I'm super happy with it. I love that they've all got pockets because that was a key requirement for all of these skirts. And then I tried to do the same thing with the anchor outfit and I put these ruffle sleeves in, but the difference in the t-shirts I hadn't really factored in. So this is like a men's fit t-shirt, it's just like a Fruit of the Loom, whereas the one with the anchor fabric was more of like a women's fitted. So this one, I think the ruffle sleeves don't look quite as good, but then I'm thinking if I were to put some extra like stitches in up here maybe and then move the ruffle sleeves up a bit, that would be better, I think. I don't know. I've not got loads of time now before the trip, so let's see what I can do. I picked up this bag, and this is obviously with the Haunted Mansion theming. There is a Haunted Mansion lounge on board, hence the outfit. And then with the leftover fabric from the skirt, I then also made these ears. And I picked a velvet bow because I thought it would really tie in well, but it was an absolute mare to try and sew. So I think the bow on this one is not as good as the others, but what can I do? I'm certainly not a professional. It's a very similar outfit. This is with the actual wallpaper fabric for the skirt. And then I picked this up off Vinted. My friend Tori in Wonderland, she was actually selling it, and I thought, oh, that's perfect. And it was a really reasonable price. So I don't know what the shop was that it was originally purchased from, but how cute is that? Ties in really well. This next outfit is probably one of the prettiest holiday outfits that I own, and my mum made this one for me. It's an early birthday present, and it's in the most gorgeous fabric, which I know must have been an absolute pain to sew. But this one, I'm thinking like 1923 dining, like it's a bit fancy, and it also has pockets, of course, which is absolutely perfect. Now, one of my favourite dresses, the pink mini one, which I'm sure you've all seen because I think I wear it on every single trip. It's a very similar style to that because she knows how much I love that one. So she found a pattern that was very similar with the sort of squarish neckline and the little puff sleeves with the gathered tiers in the skirt, and I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to wear this one on board. So I know I just said about a favourite, but I'm going to have another favourite because this is just perfection. So again, I gave my mum a really tough challenge. I thought, could she make a skirt out of the bandanas that they give you on board? And I was kind of just expecting something like patchwork together and then just use that as like the fabric. But what she actually did instead was did this in like a handkerchief style, which is fitting because obviously they are bandanas. And I absolutely love it. So with the outfits that we wear usually on board for pirate night, they're linked in my Amazon storefront, and they were just cheapies from Amazon, and they've done us really well over many trips. But look at this. I'm just obsessed with it. And then I also had the idea of taking the leftover bandana fabric and then making some matching ears with it as well. So we've got Mickey and Minnie on either side with that velvet bow again, and I just love it. So next up, the Universal outfits, and I'm very happy with some of these because again, I've made them and it just gives me like a personal sense of like satisfaction and accomplishment. So let me show you. For this outfit, I was massively inspired by That's So Betty, and I'll pop her link in the description because what she makes, she sells. So go and check her out. She had made a skirt out of fabric similar to this, but I'm sure hers was in black. Now, I could only pick this up in grey, and I picked it up from Vinted, and it was a child's toddler duvet that I ended up being able to make this skirt out of. But because it was grey, was then a bit stuck because the black t-shirts that I had just didn't really work so well. But then I spotted this one on Vinted. So it's the Hufflepuff logo t-shirt, and the actual logo itself is in grey, so it matches perfectly. What I am missing is a headband, so that's probably going to be one of my first purchases in Universal is the Hufflepuff headband. And then onto the Loungefly. Again, this was something very, very kindly gifted to me by Get Ready Comics, and it's the new Butterbeer Loungefly, and it's actually scented. So it does have that syrupy, cream soda-y scent to it, which I don't know how they do that in a Loungefly. But look how cute this is, and I just love the stripes in it. I love the colours of it. I love that it's like the Butterbeer barrel. I think this will be absolutely perfect for our trip. This outfit is another child's duvet cover, and it's like such a perfect way to get the fabric because fabric, as I found, is really, really expensive and quite difficult to source the really cute prints. So duvet covers is where it's at. I think I paid £4 for this one, and I've got a cute little skirt out of it. And then this tee is from Making Magic and Company. It was gifted. I am a brand rep for them, but again, it ties in perfectly. And of course, the Get Ready comics. Butterbeer Loungefly will be perfect to tie it all in together. Maybe again with that Hufflepuff headband. Epic outfit, and I am obsessed with this one. So again, this is another handmade skirt with the Mario villains print, and I absolutely love this. And then when I had this fabric and I thought, what am I going to wear on top? And I would never have described myself before as like a Swiftie, but I think the Eras tour had us all shook. And I didn't go to it. I just saw all the footage all over TikTok, Instagram, and I've never had more FOMO than that moment in my life. And then I was listening repeatedly to Tortured Poets Department and then the back catalogue, and apparently I'm a Swiftie, I just never knew it. So with this t-shirt, I had an idea in mind, and Emsy Ever After, who I'm a brand rep for, again, I'll pop her links in the description box, she absolutely nailed it. So it says, "Boo's afraid of little old me," and it's just perfect. She did such a good job. I did think that the O's could be Boo's, and that was kind of the extent of the brief that I gave, but then to have the bottom bit of the writing in the Mario like lettering, absolute perfection. I am obsessed with this. The only thing that's missing is the little Boo ears that you can get from Universal. And firstly, I am so glad that Universal have jumped on that bandwagon, because my head always feels very naked in Universal. The second thing is I had wished I'd picked them up previously to finish the outfit, but I've seen lots of content from Epic and I know that they're still available. So again, it will probably be one of my first purchases to finish off this outfit. The other thing is no Loungefly. Like, I have not seen any sort of Super Nintendo Loungeflies at all. So again, I'm just going to have to wing it with something else. But I absolutely love this. And I cannot wait for our day in Epic. Not to sound cliche, but I just know that it is going to be epic. Everything that I've been seeing from there just looks incredible. We cannot wait to go. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I have, as I said at the beginning, really enjoyed putting all of the outfits together for this trip and being able to make some stuff as well. Like I say, it's made me feel really proud, really accomplished, and I've got so many ideas, and that's the reason why I wanted to do this, because some of the ideas that I've got you just can't buy, but now I can do it myself, so I'm thrilled about that. The next vlogs that you see from us will be travel day for Florida, for Epic, for the Disney cruise, and I can't wait to bring you along with us on this next trip. If you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments down below. All of the small shops and businesses will be linked in the description. But thanks again for watching. We'll see you again for the next one. Bye!